Hello, fabulous superstar Gemini. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of November 2020, looking at life and love. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, and especially for you. In fact, I would say of all the zodiac out there, this is going to be perhaps the most important month of this very important year for you. And for you and for this video, I'm actually going to take it right to the end of the month because that's what I think is going to be the most important celestial event for you. And it is a very powerful lunar eclipse taking place in your sign. Now, you have not had any kind of eclipse in your sign since 2012. So it's been a while here. And eclipses are very powerful. Now, on the one hand, as I like to say, a full moon lunar eclipse is basically a jacked up full moon. That's the real professional way of putting it, being sarcastic. But the other way that you can understand this is that the nodes are in your sign and your opposite sign. The south node is in your sign, moved there earlier this year. It was all the way back in June that we had the lunar eclipse in your opposite sign. But now, here it is. This one is in your sign. And that means that you are gearing up to see yourself very differently than you did before. Now, I have seen remarkable things take place in a person's life when it is that they have an eclipse in their own sign, whether that's a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse, in this case, a lunar eclipse. And lunar eclipses are defined by what comes to an end. A key closure of some way does take place. And very often it is a closure related to whom it is that you knew yourself to be. Some matter of your identity, some matter of what matters to you most, what matters to you first. You just realize you are a different person now, and what used to matter no longer does. And whom you knew yourself to be before no longer applies. And so I have seen this go in all kinds of directions. There are some examples that I use whenever somebody has an eclipse in their sign that I have used for many years now. So let me give you some examples. I've seen people quit drugs. I've seen people quit smoking weed. I've seen people go sober. I've seen people go vegan. I've seen people, after being vegan for a really long time, start eating meat again. I've seen people leave relationships. I've seen people make huge, drastic changes in their lives, perhaps even changing locations. In fact, that may not be that uncommon to actually decide that you're going to move, decide that what home is to you in an instant is now a very different place. A lunar eclipse in your sign means emotional honesty, means being honest with yourself about what you really feel is your truth. And whatever that truth is, it is undeniable. And so all Geminis out there in one way or another are going to be experiencing an important shift of energy and very likely some change in identity as well. And where it is that behaviors are rooted in identity, well, they can't help but go through a change also. This eclipse will be speaking in harmony with Chiron, speaking in harmony with Mars. So there is motivation. There's a sense of this is what you need to do if you are really going to heal and move into your future. And again, a lunar eclipse tends to be marked more by a close of a chapter, but that is a part of aligning yourself with a higher, more loving vision for your life so that you can live that much more fully and live truly authentically going forward from here. Let's talk about some of the other things that are happening this month as well. If we go back earlier 2 weeks, right around the 15th or 16th of the month, that is when we are going to have this month's new moon. Now, this new moon is taking place in a daily part of your sky. It is speaking in harmony with Jupiter, with Pluto, with Saturn. Now, Jupiter and Pluto in particular, very close in the sky, having perfected their third and final conjunction just days earlier. Mars going direct just about a day earlier as well. And so you can see by the time we get to this new moon, there's a lot of intensity in the air, but also a lot of determination as well. For you, because this is highlighting your daily life, this could be new work-related opportunities, new people coming in to your workplace, clients, customers, coworkers, immediate supervisors. Now, this could also be new tasks that you may be taking on, new projects you may be taking on at this time. But other Geminis out there will experience this energy in the context of health-related habits. And this could be a time when you feel ready to make a shift on a level of how well you are taking care of you. It is going to take some diligence, some motivation, especially in the beginning, but very quickly, with small steps and small things put into place, especially new habits put into place, you can start reaping reward rather quickly as well. There is no turning back with this new moon, especially once that Jupiter and Pluto conjunction takes place. Now, that conjunction is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with transformation and regeneration, and change is very much on the horizon for you at that time. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it is going to be right around the 3rd of the month as Mercury goes direct. Mercury will be going direct in a part of the sky for you that has to do with romance and flirtation and what the heart truly desires. This is a part of the sky where Venus is going to spend the first 3 weeks of this month as well. Mercury will be there the first 10 days of the month. And so you can see here that you have a genuine desire to connect with another on a heart level. Now, you are one of the signs, okay? And I've been telling this to some of the signs out there, the Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and the Cancerians out there. It is you guys that need to be mindful that breakups that happen over the course of a Mercury retrograde tend to not stay broken up. And if that's the case for you, if you found yourself unsure about the best way forward in the context of love, well, that pathway will start to clear up, as well as misunderstandings as well. If it is that you are open to meeting someone new, think back to what was happening about right around the 23rd, 24th, 25th of September, because it was back then that Mercury was where he is at the beginning of this month. And in some way, what is taking place in your life in terms of attraction and flirtation is going to hearken to what was happening back then. Now, regardless, it is going to be Mercury moving forward now that's going to invite you to be more open and to connect with other people in a more genuine way, in a heart-centered way as well. For those of you who've just started to date somebody, I love that Venus is moving through this part of the sky that has to do with dating and romance and flirtation. If you have felt that there have been some misunderstandings, or maybe you don't even realize there were misunderstandings, and just like that, things start to look a whole lot different. Things start to look a whole lot more clear. And from there, you'll get to decide whether or not this is somebody you want to move forward with. As Mercury is going direct, Mercury will be aligning with Saturn in a conversation of tension. This is a moment of truth as to what you really want in your heart of hearts. And once you connect with that truth, your outcomes, your best choices become that much more clear as well. And for those of you in an established bond, I do love where Venus and Mercury are. This tends to suggest an easy way of enjoying each other's company that much more. Venus is going to be making some interesting alignments as she moves through this flirtatious and fun part of your sky. And so where it is that you have felt not necessarily connected on a heart level, especially if you've been with your partner for a while, the motivation to change that certainly is going to be there as well. What I love about this month for you, well, look, there's a lot here, but it is without a doubt the lunar eclipse at the very end of the month. That is the star of the show now. Remember, next month, we're going to have that solar eclipse in your opposite sign. Big month for you in the context of love and partnerships of all kind. But right now, it is about focusing on yourself, considering whom it is that you really are, and where it is perhaps that you have held on to a self-definition that no longer works for you. Where it is that you have identified with certain traits or habits or ways of being that no longer represent your truth. Now, whatever answers you find are going to be uniquely your own, but they promise you a more authentic self, which can't help but align with a pathway of greater love and greater wisdom as well. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this every week by logging on to nadiyashah.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded exclusive videoscopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes and more. All of this in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.